Iodine clock reaction as performed by Olivia. Performing the experiment.
Okay, today we're going to do an iodine clock reaction. Okay, for this reaction we're going to be mixing two colorless solutions, and after some time there will be a chemical reaction that creates a color. First we need to make the two solutions. Okay, for solution A we're going to be mixing vitamin C with iodine tincture and some distilled water. For the vitamin C, we need to crush it up so that it can be mixed into this colorless solution. I'm using 500 milligram tablets, so I will be crushing up 4 tablets for 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Okay, so now we're going to mix the crushed up vitamin C with 60 milliliters of distilled water. So after 30 seconds of stirring, this is what our mixture looks like. We're going to go ahead and filter out those insoluble factors. So while that filters out, we'll go ahead and start making solution B. Okay, so for solution B, we're going to be mixing cornstarch, distilled water, and hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so we're going to grab about 4.4 grams of cornstarch. And then we'll use about 350 milliliters of distilled water. And we'll go ahead and stir that up. Okay, so this solution is still a little bit cloudy. We're going to go ahead and microwave it until it's boiling and see if that will clear the solution. So while solution B is microwaving, we can see that our solution A has filtered through and it is a very clear solution. Okay, so our solution A is now nice and clear. Our next step in making solution A is adding the iodine. I'm using 2%, so I will need to use 60 milliliters of this. The iodine is colored, and when it reacts with the vitamin C in here, it changes from iodine to I-, and that will create the colorless solution. So as you can see, our solution A is still a colorless solution. Okay, so now we're adding distilled water to make our solution A about 500 milliliters. Good to go. So our solution B is looking much clearer than before, but still not quite clear enough, so we're going to go ahead and filter it through. So now our solution B looks a lot more clear. We're going to go ahead and pour it into our measuring unit and see where it measures. And from there we're going to add about 150 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so now we're going to mix our solution A and our solution B, equal portions. So on this mason jar I have 100 milliliters of solution A and 100 milliliters of solution B. And after just a minute of swirling, we should see that instant clock change reaction. Save me.
So what was happening during the experiment? First, I created colorless solution A. I did this by crushing 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C. I then mixed that with 60 milliliters of distilled water, and I filtered out any insoluble portions of the pill. Finally, I added 60 milliliters of 2% iodine tincture. How does the colored iodine become colorless during the experiment? When the colored iodine is added to the vitamin C, the reaction changes iodine to I-, which is also known as iodide, and that keeps the solution colorless. I then created colorless solution B, and I used 0.4 grams of cornstarch to do this. Then I mixed that with 350 milliliters of distilled water. As you can see from this first picture, the mixture was cloudy, and then I microwaved it until it was boiling, and the mixture was clear, but I wanted it to be even more clear, so I filtered that solution, and in this last photo, you can see that that solution is much more clear. I then added 150 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide, and that gave me solution B. Finally, I mixed solution A and solution B, and it took about 53 seconds for the color change reaction to occur. So what's happening to this colorless mixture that makes it spontaneously change color? There are two reactions happening at the same time when we mix solution A and solution B. The two things that happen are happening with the iodine in this new mixture. So remember how I talked about mixing the vitamin C and the elemental iodine, and that created the ion form of iodine, also known as iodide or I-, as I stated in the video. So the delay in color reaction when the solutions are mixed is due to the vitamin C. It quickly reacts with the iodine, and that keeps the solution colorless for a time, as it keeps iodine in its ionic form as iodide. When all of the vitamin C is finally used up, then the iodide that was created reacts with the hydrogen peroxide. When the iodide reacts with the hydrogen peroxide, it then produces the elemental iodine again. When it's in this form, the elemental iodine reacts with the starch, and that then turns the color of the solution blue. So therefore, these two colorless solutions, after a portion of time, can react and create a colored product.